What is it, Timmy's here? Now, here is my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turns 10, 20, and 30, and even 40 this week. Alright, the films celebrating their 10th anniversary, we got the Michael Bay produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where four reptilian warriors rise from the sewers to join forces with the fearless reporter April O'Neil to save New York City from Shredder and the evil minions. And so many people were not really a fan of the live action Ninja Turtles films with Michael Bay produced, Megan Fox as April O'Neil. While I admit, Out of the Shadows could have been a little better, like a little step down from the 2014 film. But the 2014 film was a lot of fun. Really cool. Like the chemistry between these turtles were terrific. I mean, the effects was really cool. I like the look of Shredder. You had Will Arnett was also in this. I believe Whoopi Goldberg was also in this as well. Even Mickey Milkovich from Shameless actually voiced. I believe he voiced Leonardo, if I'm not mistaken. So hearing Mickey Milkovich's voice coming out from Leonardo was always cool. So not a bad film. Now, of course, the sequel, which will come out 2 years after. Sadly, I don't think we're ever going to get another follow to that, but we are getting the Last Ronin, which hopefully that could be really good. All right. Now, also turning 10, we got Into the Storm, which was directed by Stephen Quell, who directed the last Final Destination film. This also starred Nathan Kress, who you might know from iCarly fame, Alicia Debnam Carey from one of the Walking Dead series. You also had some other cool cast members here and there. Richard Armitage from Hobbit fame was in this. It is a disaster film about the rash of tornadoes stalking the fictional town of Silverton. Now, this was actually a found footage film, if you will, of a tornado. Like, I guess you could say it was like, let's say, I don't know, Paranormal Activity meets Twister. Really, that's why I always thought of it. Uh, you got Matt Walsh, the guy from V. You have some other cool cast members. Not a bad little film if you guys haven't seen it. All right, also turning 10, we got The 100 Foot Journey, directed by Lassie Ostrom, who's always directed some really cool stuff. Like, he did do the movie Chocolate. He did some other stuff here and there, like I believe he did A Dog's Purpose, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, really cool underrated filmmaker. Oh, and also he did What's Eating Gilbert Grape with Leo DiCaprio. That's a good one. This stars the likes of Helen Mirren, and it's pretty much a battle in the French village between two restaurants that directly across the street from each other. A new Indian restaurant owned by an Indian immigrant family, an established French restaurant with Michelin star owned by a French woman. And this wasn't so bad. You had Helen Mirren, who was great. The food looked pretty good. I mean, not a bad little film there. All right. Now, films celebrating 20 years, we got Collateral, starring Tom Cruise, directed by Michael Mann, Jamie Foxx, Jada Pinkett Smith, Javier Bardem, Jason Statham, which, by the way, he actually technically played his character for Transporter. So this and Transporter are technically in the same universe. If you guys don't know much about the story here, it follows Max Durocker, who's a LA cab driver, and his customer Vincent, um, who pretty much offers like a high fare for driving to several locations, and Max agrees to, but soon finds himself taken hostage by Tom Cruise's Vincent. And this was actually the first time Tom Cruise ever fully played a villain, so it was really interesting to see Tom Cruise go the bad guy route and him like trying to. This movie is a lot of fun. It actually also got Jamie Foxx an Oscar nomination, which at the time he actually got nominated not once but twice. Of course, the one he won for Ray, and he got nominated for this. I mean, it's a really cool cat and mouse game. Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise. How on earth has these two never really did another film together? Beyond me, those two had great chemistry with one another. Michael Mann did great here. If you guys have not seen Collateral, do yourself a favor, go watch it. It's literally one of my favorite Tom Cruise performances. It really showcased how great he could be as a villain. I would love to see him play another bad guy again. Like, one thing with respect to the Mission Impossible movies, I would love to see Tom Cruise go back to something serious like this. All right. Now, other films turning 20. We got Open Water, which is a true story of Tom and Elliot Lundgren, who in 1998 went out for scuba diving group, but left behind because the dive boat crew failed to take an accurate head count. So the whole film is pretty much with these two couples in an open water. Like, I cannot swim, so it's nothing I will do. But it is a really intriguing little horror film worth checking out. There are sharks around as I was trying to get them. I mean, it is just an insane little film. Like, you definitely feel for these two, and it's really crazy. They also did like two sequels, which the sequels was so good. But all right, also turning 20, we got Little Black Book, starring Brittany Murphy, Ron Livingston, Julian Nicholson, Carly Simon, and it follows an associate producer of a daytime talk show who uses her position to look into her boyfriend's past relationships. And not a bad little film. I mean, Brittany Murphy, who sadly passed away in 2009, she was always incredible and stuff. I always adored Brittany Murphy, whether it's in 8 Mile, whether it's Sin City. I mean, Brittany Murphy was always terrific every time I saw her and stuff. And she had some pretty charm stuff in this. Ron Livingston was okay. So, I mean, it's not a great film, but not a bad little film to check out. All right. Also, now turning 30 this week, we got Clear and Present Danger, which was, of course, the second, pretty much the second time Harrison Ford portrayed Jack Ryan. This was a follow up to Patriots Game, I meant. You also had the likes of William Dafoe, James Earl Jones, Benjamin Bratt, a very young Dora Birch. If you guys don't know much about the story in this, it's based on the Tom Clancy novels of Jack Ryan. Now, of course, the character has been portrayed by Alec Baldwin, Ben Affleck, who else? Oh yeah, most recent John Krasinski, Chris Pine. He's been portrayed by a lot of different actors there. Uh, it's where like Jack Ryan is appointed CIA acting deputy director intelligence and discovers he is being kept in the dark by colleagues who are conducting a covert war against the drug cartel in Colombia. And while this is not as good as Patriots game or anything like that, it is still pretty fun. Harrison Ford, talk about a cool career. This is a guy who's played Indiana Jones, uh, Han Solo, Jack Ryan. Next, of course, Thunderbolt Ross. I mean, talk about a great career this guy's always had. And this is a really intriguing film. And Archer was also in this. Cool action. So if you guys haven't seen it, definitely give that one a go. All right. Also turning 10, also turning 30, I'm gonna say. We got Airheads, directed by Michael Lehman, starring Adam Sandler, Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, Michael Richards, Chris Farley, Ernie Hudson. You also had David Arquette appearing in this. If you guys don't know much about the story on this, tells the story of struggling rock band who staged a hijacking of radio station in order to get airplay for their demo recording. Now, Airheads is a lot of fun. It's not like my favorite Adam Sandler film, nothing like that. I mean, it's not as classic as, let's say, Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, or anything. But it's still pretty. Actually, this was even before Adam Sandler did Happy Gilmore or even Billy Madison, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but of course, it has some really cool music to it. The chemistry between Steve Buscemi, Sandler, and Brandon Fraser is great. Like, it was really cool to see Adam Sandler and Brandon Fraser reunite a couple years, like a few years back, at at Verizon annual Actors on Actors, where they were interviewing each other. That was really cool to see. I kid you not, Adam Sandler's even interested in doing a sequel to Airheads. So, hey, if we could get Happy Gilmore too, I'm all down for more Airheads. So, yeah, if you guys never seen Airheads, Definitely give that one a go. All right. Also turning dirty, there's the Ang Lee film Eat, Drink, Man, Woman. So not a bad one there. But also turning dirty, we got the Little Rascals, of which centers on like the adventures of a group of neighborhood children's here. Directed by Penelope Sherris, who I believe gave us like Wayne's World and other stuff. The Little Rascals is actually based on uh on the Our Gang shows. Like if you guys never really seen Our Gang, you can actually find them on Tubi. They're pretty fun. Like from the 30s, 40s, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, but years ago they did a feature film of the Little Rascals, which had the likes of Buck Hart as Alfalfa, Darcy, and top it off, there is also a couple of cameos throughout. Like, not trying to get political, but one cameo we do see featured in the film is the Orange Man, and that is, of course, Donald Trump. That's right, people. Donald Trump has a little cameo in this. Very awkward watching nowadays. But, before he became president and everything, he did have cameos and stuff from Home Alone 2 to Little Rascals. So, there's that. But other people who also had cameos include the likes of Reba McEntire, uh, Gary Marshall, Whoopi Goldberg, the Olsen twins. So it's some really cool cast members here and there. But uh, I love the Little Rascals. I used to watch this as a kid tons of times. It's really entertaining. Like the race scene is pretty fun. I mean, it's a really terrific little film if you guys haven't seen it. All right, and man, it's so funny seeing so awkward seeing Trump in anything else in any movies nowadays. Like it is crazy to believe before he became president, it's so insane to believe how much films and TV he's appeared in. Donald Trump also appeared in stuff like Fresh Prince, The Nanny. I mean, it's just insane to believe. All right, now films turning 40 this week. We got a lot of stuff here. The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across a Different Dimension, which centers upon a group of efforts of the polymorph Dr. Buckaroo Banzai, a physicist and neurosurgeon, test pilot, and rock star to save the world by defeating the altered dimension aliens. Now, you had the likes of Ellen Barkin, Peter Weller from Robocop fame, Jonathan Banks. I mean, you had some really cool cast members in this. It was a complete flop. There's that. But it's really like an 80s cult classic. This is definitely a film that I could totally see get a remake in today's modern era. Some killer cast members from John Lithgow to who else was in this? Oh yeah, to Ellen Barker. I mean, talk about cool cast, cool effects. I mean, the '80s was a really cool time for the sci-fi genre. So yeah, all right. Also turning 40, we got Cloak and Dagger. Not to be confused with Marvel's Cloak and Dagger that premiered on, I believe, Freeform years ago. This was actually an '80s teen like sci-fi film. When like his with his mother dead and his father Hal Osborne, played by Dabney Coleman, busy working. 11-year-old Davy, played by former ET star Henry Thomas, spends his time immersed in video games, often dreaming his espionage stories featuring imaginary spy Jack Flack, also played by Coleman. Uh, when Davy meets the murder of an FBI agent, the dying man hands him an Atari video game, Courage with military secrets no one believed his story, and Davy is forced to go on the run, escaping from attempts on his life with Flack's guidance. And this is actually a really fun like '80s film. Of course, at the time Henry Thomas was really popular at playing Elliot in E.T. So this was like his next big break, following E.T. It was not as classic as let's say E.T. was. Henry Thomas was pretty decent in this. His chemistry with Dabney Coleman was pretty good. Really cool, sci-fi elements. Some cool espionage scenes, really fun lines. So, not a bad little film there. All right, also turning 40, we got the original Red Dawn, starring Patrick Swayze, Charlie Sheen, Leah Thompson, Jennifer Grey. And the film depicts a fictional World War III centering on an invasion of the U.S. by alliance of Soviet Warsaw Pact and Latin American states, and follows a group of teenagers, guerrillas known as the Wolverines, in Soviet-occupied Colorado. And believe it or not, Red Dawn, you might not know this, was actually the first ever PG-13 film. Like, this was really a movie that put PG-13 on the map. And you mentioned Red Dawn. Of course, they did do a remake with Chris Hemsworth, Josh Peck, Josh Hutcherson. The remake isn't so bad. Nothing beats the original. You know, Patrick Swayze, Charlie Sheen. I mean, of course, the iconic lines of Wolverines. I mean, before Hugh Jackman Wolverine came around, we had these Wolverines. You know, I can't say we because I wasn't born in the '80s, but still, the '80s, like, or the 2000s has Hugh Jackman Wolverine, but the '80s had the Wolverines from Red Dawn. So yeah, but the original Red Dawn definitely has some cool action to it. The chemistry between the cast, like C. Thomas Howell was also in this. Um, of course, you had Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, like years before Dirty Dancing fame. Who didn't love Red Dawn? It's just such an iconic action film from the '80s, worth checking out. Especially with today's time, like who knows if we're ever gonna have a World War III. This is definitely a film that I feel should get watched by everyone. So definitely give Red Dawn a go. But that's pretty much it there. Let me leave you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? Alright, to me, the 10-year one is of course going to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 2014, of course. The 20-year one is going to go to Collateral. The 30-year one is the Little Rascals. And the 40-year one is going to go to the original Red Dawn. Anyway, drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simon signing.